everybody. I'm Brian.
And I'm Dave.
And this is Preview with the Prior,
The show where we speculate about the upcoming episode of Better Call Saul.
often incorrectly. Thank you for tuning in today. We are looking forward to episode 307. Dave, I can't believe that it's, three? Or I guess it's actually technically be 4 episodes to see before the end of season 3.
Yeah, 2/3 of the way through, plus 1.
Yeah, that math always slightly confuses me because 7 plus 3 is 10, but in episode land, it's actually 4 full episodes before
Something
the
like
end.
that.
Yeah.
Because we, quote unquote, haven't seen episode 7 yet.
Mm-hmm. Dave and I also host a Nothing Important podcast along with our third Mike, Jeff, where we talk to people who are more successful and famous than we will ever be. You can also find Jeff and I, and maybe sometimes Dave, on A Plumbus Among Us, the Rickest Rick and Morty podcast. That's available now on iTunes, Google Play, just about anywhere you can find your podcast, and of course on the TV Time app. Make sure that you download TV Time for your smartphone. Talk to like-minded fans, make memes, comments, video comments, all sorts of good stuff. And of course, you can find It's All Good Man and A Plumbus Among Us on the TV Time app for your smartphone. So Dave, okay,
Yeah.
so so full disclosure, I'm going to cut the bullshit today because I just don't feel like it. Okay, so I've already seen episode 307. Have you seen
son of a
episode
bitch.
307?
No, I don't watch the episode until we do our preview show. You son of a bitch.
Okay, so I'm going to read off my notes. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to read listener correspondence, of which there is a lot this week from many different sources. This is probably the first time that I've had to pick and choose who I want to put on the show. I still feel like I have a lot more than normal. So if you didn't get picked, I'm sorry. I just kind of did it for expediency or something that caught my eye. It's not that you guys are making bad comments. It's just I'm trying to produce a show, so deal with it. Secondly, since I have already seen 307 due to the weirdness of my computer that's going on, pretty much long story short, I accidentally clicked on the link, unbeknownst to me, which led to it being played a couple times, and we have a limited number of times where we can watch the episode.
Right.
So I said, oh shit, I better watch this and take notes. So that way I can just shut it down so it doesn't take up all the times that you can watch the episode so Dave can't see it. So
Yes.
I've already seen it, but I have already written down what my thoughts were about this episode. So I will say what my thoughts were. Dave, you can react and we'll call it a show. So Dave, you can you're pretty much going to pull the weight for the predictions on this one. And I'm just going to kind of be the host to keep things moving. Does that sound good?
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right, awesome. Also, congratulations, Dave, on your new baby. Dave just received a new computer that he's going to be doing all sorts of sound stuff with.
Yeah, I had to upgrade a little bit, so I'm pretty excited about it. My work will be done more expediently now, and I can do more. It's great.
I'm just happy for you because you have literally been talking about getting a new computer for music shit since before we started podcasting. So I'm like legitimately excited for you.
Oh, thanks, guy. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Had to wait for that tax return.
All right, here we go. Online correspondence from the listeners of It's All Good Man. Hunter Flogel from Twitter says the dust that they store the drugs in the back of the truck is actually cayenne pepper. It throws off the dogs.
Makes sense. I wouldn't know. I'm not much of a drug smuggler these days.
Mm-hmm.
I only smuggle legal amounts of drugs, so that's technically not smuggling anyway.
Twitter follower Carl Peluso. Carl Peluso. Let's go with that. Carl Peluso says he theorizes Nacho is going to replace the medicine with placebo so it doesn't work next time. Hector has a fit and the result is a stroke.
Oh, that's a good call. I assumed he would replace it with something that would accelerate the stroke. Not necessarily a placebo, but another medication that would affect him adversely. But I like the placebo idea. Just let nature take its course, basically.
Yeah. I was kind of more on board with kind of where you were going with that, Dave. Also, Carl Peluso says, I think that was chili powder that the drugs were packed into to mask the scent from the dogs.
Yes, cayenne pepper, chili powder, they're similar things, right?
Yeah. Apparently,
Either way, you can flavor up some Los Pollos Hermanos with it.
Exactly.
Maybe that's a secret ingredient. That's why it tastes so good. They use the pepper that they ship the drugs in.
Ricky Ragone from, I believe this is YouTube.
Oh.
Maybe. No, we have some YouTube people. Well, Ricky Ragone from somewhere. It's either YouTube or Facebook. Actually, it's Facebook. Ricky Ragone from Facebook says, could the playground that Mike's being roped into building be the playground that Kaylee uses when Mike's spending time with her during Breaking Bad?
Hey-o, that is a good catch. I like it.
I didn't even think about that. My thoughts on that were like, okay, he's just building a thing for the church.
Well, I think I said that in the wrap-up episode that I really think Mike's going to end up burying some evidence in that concrete.
Okay.
I think that's a good call. But yeah, I didn't put that together, but I like that he's playing. That's another callback to Breaking Bad that went over our heads.
Yeah, well, speaking of burying stuff in the concrete, Clayton Florio from YouTube also says, what if the playground turns out to be the same one that he takes his granddaughter to play with in Breaking Bad, and it would make it even crazier if there was evidence for something buried there.
Oh, stealing my ideas. I like it.
Cohen Letchin from YouTube agrees. He says, when I was first watching the episode, I thought Mike buried something in the past under the concrete.
Also, I'm going to say this. This hit me. We have seen Mike kill. We keep forgetting he killed those two cops in the first season.
Oh.
We keep talking about how Mike hasn't killed. Mike's killed those two cops. That's why he's in Albuquerque.
Good point. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, good. Look at you, Dave. Coming back. Brian Haldaway from Twitter says, Breaking Bad Easter egg from the last episode, Crazy 8 shirt is from the furniture store where he sold Walt something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tampico? Wasn't that it? Tampico,
yeah, Tampico, yeah.
Yep. From TV Time app, F. Qureshi. First off, I did pronounce his screen name correctly last week, so go me. He also said that we got a little off track as we started talking about how much the commercial time was costing Saul per episode. And F. Qureshi from the TV Time app says, remember, he wasn't trying to unload it a la carte. He was basically trying to, in all one shot, sell it for $4,000 to recoup all of his money immediately. It just hasn't worked out for him thus far. And I think we touched on that, but then we got caught up in the how much it would cost him per episode. Yeah. And that kind of led us down another road.
We do that.
Theo, Theo ID Man from Twitter, sent us an animation of how a sewing machine works.
Yeah, I saw that.
So no real comment, just thanks. And I probably watched that animation loop like 100 times, and I still barely grasp. I guess it just amazes me more that such, by our standards today, primitive piece of technology, like they were able to build such intricate parts for a mechanized machine, like 150 years ago. But then again, they've been making watches forever as well. Either way, I guess I'm just impressed by the engineering. Aaron Taylor from YouTube says, I think it would be interesting if Gilligan and Gould tried to make us like Chuck again.
I agree. I would fully agree. It would be very interesting. They do, because they do play that game. It's always an ebb and a flow. I mean, we're kind of wishy-washy on Hamlin's character. Sometimes, like, is he with Jimmy? Now he hates Jimmy. Is he on Chuck's side? It's all ambiguous.
Aaron Taylor from YouTube continues, we've spent almost 2 seasons hating him with the revelation that he's sandbagged Jimmy. What if they had Chuck try to redeem himself in ours and Jimmy's eyes?
It seems to me if they played that angle, Jimmy would reject it. If Chuck tried to patch things up, I think Jimmy's done. I think that last scene with the Saul Goodman, I think that's his I don't have a brother. Maybe that's why he changes his name. He doesn't want to be a McGill anymore. There are no more living McGills, and a big FU.
Okay. Our buddy DeBebler from YouTube says it was scotch. You don't drink wine out of tumblers. Well, you don't if you're Chuck. I get it, guys. It was scotch. I don't know why I thought it was wine. When I looked up from taking notes, it just looked like wine. Okay.
Tyrantula Doug got that right away, by the way. Also, we didn't note that wine is our age. There was a Twitter comment. Forgive me for not writing down who it was, but noted it was his 1966 bottle. It's 35 years old, which means the episode takes place in 2001. Also, I'm 35 years old, as the Scotch is.
YouTube listener that goes by Silver by Theos, or maybe it's Silver by the Oz. I don't know. It looks like Theos with a Z, but he capitalized the O, but he didn't put a space between THE and the capital O. So I think it's either Silver by Theos or Silver by the Oz. Either way, he says it's Scotch. I get it.
It's silver by the ounce. It's silver by the ounce, Brian.
I'm an idiot. Then why isn't there a space between THE and OZ?
Can you put a space on a Twitter handle?
Yes, on a YouTube. This is a YouTube handle.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because people.
And yes, you can, because
people just do
there's a space between the R and the B, and then the Y and the T. So silver by the ounce. I want an explanation, pal. Why isn't there a space right there?
That's your problem. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Why do you got to try to make me look dumb, or worse, or even more dumb than I already am? So
you got to make me look more stupider.
Yeah. All right. So our buddy Silver by the Ounce says that it's Scotch and it's a $15,000 bottle.
Holy crap. I mean, he did. Howard was as giddy about that as I am about my computer. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Man, you must really like Scotch a lot if we
That's 15 of the computers that I just bought, by the way.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this week on next time on Better Call Saul, right? It had a bunch of crazy shit, as it always does, and the only noticeable part that I saw was Jimmy gets trash thrown at him, and then Kim says, "We're not going to really do this, are we?" or something to that effect. And I had thought that she was I thought what she was talking about was like them continuing to like try to destroy Chuck. I don't know why I thought that. I was like, are they still going to fuck with the guy? Because he's still he can't Jimmy can't practice law for a year.
Right. So
Chuck kind of won. So I thought, I guess in my head, it was like that. We still haven't destroyed your enemy kind of deal.
Okay.
So, like, let's be proactive to make sure that Chuck can't finish the job that he was out to do.
Okay.
Because obviously satisfactory for Chuck would have been him losing his bar. So it's still, in my mind, in Jimmy's mind, it was still like they're still at a draw because Chuck hasn't completed what he came to do. And Jimmy didn't. Like, they're both claiming victory, but neither of them outright won.
Right.
And there's still room for each of them to try to finally settle it once and for all through various means. So I thought it would be like, okay, that was a small victory. We got off with kind of a slap on the hand, but Chuck is still going to keep coming. So here's our plan, how we deal with this.
I will counter that with Chuck's toast is to new beginnings. So I'm thinking maybe he'll move on from it and try to deal with his allergy and reestablish himself in good standing with the law community. And continue to go after Jimmy won't allow that. Jimmy, on the other hand, I can see him with that sort of vendetta and really trying to lay waste to the entire, finish the battle, as it were. Or finish the war, I should say.
Scorched earth, motherfuckers.
Yeah, General Sherman raised the ground so nothing can, no phoenixes can rise from it. But I think are we going to do this? I'm going to go on, my prediction is it has something to do with the space they're sharing.
Okay.
Jimmy might have
Not a bad theory.
some sort of ulterior motive or some sort of sinister plan to come up with the money, or it might do something that leaves Kim hanging.
Or he like sublets to someone ridiculous.
Yeah.
like a mariachi band practice space. All right. And then the extended preview of episode
that would just
307.
that would make the waiting room music way more better.
It'd be more lively, that's for
right.
sure.
None of that Kenny G crap.
Mm-hmm. The preview scene was Jimmy wiping himself down with baby wipes, and so literally my notes says Jimmy takes a bath. Like that's just takes a bath. The horse bath,
Tops and
like
tails.
under the arm.
Yeah, tops and tails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So I had no predictions for that other than Jimmy takes a bath.
Man, so that makes me think he might have done something with Chuck. He's running away from something. Yeah,
that's a good. I just really didn't get into it. Like I was all excited to watch the preview episodes, and for some reason maybe my brain shut off finally, and it was just like, oh, Jimmy takes a bath, and then I'm sitting there thinking, well, why would he have to wipe himself down? And so yeah, good point. Good, maybe he does some sort of tomfoolery, and
maybe he's switching between Saul Goodman and Jimmy McGill, and we got ourselves some sort of a Superman situation. His phone booth is the trunk of his car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's I was trying to make an esteem, another thing about the esteem joke, but I lost it.
Yeah, that's okay. So, what do you guys out there think? Where do you think the show's going from here? Please make sure to hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, because apparently a lot of you are doing that now.
Yeah.
Facebook, TV Time, fucking wherever. Email. Carrier pigeon, smoke signal, whatever you got, we'll read it. We'll make sure to try to respond. Make sure to check us out on the Nothing Important podcast. We got an awesome interview coming up with the voice of Zelda from The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which I was Patricia, which I was pretty excited to speak with her.
Very fun interview, that one. Very lighthearted and whimsical, as Zelda is.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. She is the hero of time. Or I guess Princess Oracle? I don't know. I forget. No, because Link is the hero of time. So whatever the fuck Zelda is.
Victim of time?
That's what she is. The what?
The victim of time?
The victim of time. Yeah, Nintendo princesses, man, just can't stop themselves from getting abducted. But I will say, in Breath of the Wild, you don't rescue the princess, you join her fight.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's Breath of the Wild, by the way, an amazing game. For those of you who haven't played it and you have a Switch or a Wii U, play it. It'll suck you in. Also, please make sure to check out A Plumbus Among Us, the Rick and Morty podcast by yours truly and our perennial third mic, Jeff. That is live now on iTunes and just about anywhere you can find podcasts. We are going to release our chat about episode 101, but we already got our episode 301 discussion up now. People are checking it out, and we're pretty happy about that and can't wait to see where that goes for all of you Rick and Morty folks.
And we know you're out there.
Mm-hmm. And in force.
I hear tell there's a fan base for this show.
Also, one interesting note about A Plumbus Among Us, that the theme song that we're using is by Dave's band, The Big Lum Yeah, and it's called It's All Right, and it's very, very catchy.
That's correct, sir. Apparently, I have a thing for horn sections in my intro songs because Nothing Important has that horn section beat.
That's okay. It's fun. I like it. We're keeping it and we're using it. Thank you so much for listening to us this week. Make sure to tune in to episode 307 Monday on AMC. Dave and I will be watching it right there with you. And of course, It's All Good Man will be published and live as the credits roll, making it the official, unofficial after show for Better Call Saul. If we put it up any faster, we'd be live.